I was that student every teacher hoped they wouldn't have to teach or have in their class. I was that student that spent more time in the corridors than in the classroom. I was that student who was frequently sent to the headmistress's office for poor behaviour. I was that student that seemed to always be on a behavioural report card, yet their behaviour never showed any signs of improvement. I was that student whose parents were on first name basis with the teachers because they received at least 2 phone calls home a day about poor behaviour. I was that student who pretty much had a detention every day after school. I was that student that really struggled to maintain focus, to stay seated in class. I was that naughty student that didn't seem to ever learn from their mistakes. I was that student that was regularly excluded. I was that student who was always distracting and disrupting the class. I was that student that had the potential to be in the top sets, but didn't try hard enough. I was that student most teachers just gave up on. I was that student who was sent to the pupil referral unit because their behaviour was too challenging and too much for mainstream school to cope with. I was that undiagnosed neurodivergent student who didn't receive the correct support, who didn't receive the correct accommodations, who didn't receive the correct behavioural interventions to enable them to thrive in a mainstream school environment. I was that student whose behaviour was seen more of a lack of discipline than a form of communication. I was that student who was struggling with undiagnosed ADHD and autism. I was that student